Merry Nerd Christmas, everybody, as people around the world converge in to attend this year's San Diego Comic-Con. Now in this video, I just want to talk about some of the things that I'm looking forward to, and if you're a subscriber of this channel, then there's a good chance that some of the things I'm going to be talking about are things that you're going to be excited to see. But of course, there are like a couple of things we should probably mention, like and what to potentially expect. So yeah, let's talk about what I'm looking forward to at this year's Comic-Con. So right off the bat, I think it's kind of hard to do this video without mentioning that a good number of major film studios, especially here in the West, so you know, like a lot of people are talking about how Marvel isn't attending, but they also leave out, you know, Lucasfilms, Warner Bros, Legendary, Paramount, so on and so forth. They seem to be skipping out on doing any kind of announcements at Hall H this year, and I think that is further proven by the fact that we've been getting a lot of trailers releasing ahead of Comic-Con. I think a really good example of this is some of the new Alien Predator stuff, like the new trailer for Predator Badlands, and a lot of the featurettes for Alien Earth, although that could be because Alien Earth is like ramping up its advertisements because the series is it's almost releasing next month. Don't know exactly why this exodus is happening, but I will leave a few links to a couple of articles that will highlight the details as to why some of these studios aren't attending. But with that in mind, we should probably focus on these two, those specifically being Warner Bros. And Legendary. Because Warner Bros. And Legendary will not be attending Comic-Con this year, we should not expect any news about Godzilla X Kong Supernova. Now, I have seen some people talking about how, since Toho is attending, they'll probably announce something for Godzilla X Kong Supernova, but I don't think that's going to be the case, simply because Warner Bros. Is the sole distributor of the films everywhere else outside of Japan. Now in Japan, it is Toho's responsibility to market and distribute the film among the movie theaters, while Warner Bros. Covers every other country and territory outside of Japan. Now I will say, it would be kind of weird if Toho ended up doing Warner Bros.' job. I think that would be a breach of contract in several places. So yeah, the fact that both Warner Bros. And Legendary will not be attending Comic-Con this year, I don't think anyone should be expecting any kind of news regarding Godzilla X Kong Supernova. Like, sure, we could get like a light mention here and there from the Toho panel, but I don't think we should expect anything significant like a trailer, especially since the film is still filming. But we'll definitely get a trailer for Supernova next year. When? I don't know. Anyways, I mentioned Toho, but we'll talk more about them later on. But while Legendary itself won't be attending Comic-Con, Legendary Comics, however, will be. Now, in terms of what they could be talking about, there's been some mention about some Dune comics that they'll be presenting, you know, in line with the films. But at the same time, we're also going to be getting some Monsterverse comics, which is honestly pretty exciting. I actually really enjoy the Monsterverse comics, and despite their canonicity, talk more about that in a different video. Perhaps we'll get some new announcements, maybe we'll get some new titles, or maybe we'll get a roundup of all the Monsterverse comics that have released recently or are about to release. Because right now, I will admit, it is getting a little confusing because you have the Skull Island comic, but then you have Monarch Decoded, which I think released or didn't. I honestly don't know. And there's also the Monarch Legacy of Monsters comic that managed to get fully funded, so we might see some information regarding that. There's also some other supplementary materials that have been teased but haven't been properly advertised yet, so on and so forth. And of course, we're probably going to be getting more new comics coming down the line. But yeah, in terms of all those, we'll have to wait and see. But honestly, I'm kind of excited to see what else Legendary Comics is cooking up for the Monsterverse, in spite of it not being canon. Now, I talked about how some of the major film studios will not be attending Comic-Con this year, but this actually makes way for other film studios to break in. One of those being Toho, as I mentioned, but we'll talk more about what they might be cooking up in a bit. But right now, there is one movie that I'm looking forward to that I don't think too many people are talking about, that being Primitive War, which is an adaptation of a novel by the same name. Now, the best way to describe this is if Jurassic World Rebirth took place in Vietnam. Yes, I made that comparison, and I will not apologize for it. But yeah, it's nice that we're seeing like more dinosaur projects coming out in the wake of Jurassic World. Like before Primitive War and Jurassic World Rebirth, we had 65, which didn't exactly drum up too much interest, mainly because I think the marketing for that film just kind of confused a lot of audiences. Like, are they on a dinosaur planet with alien dinosaurs, or are they on Earth with real dinosaurs? And of course, it's revealed to be actually Earth, but by that time, the film did alright. It almost made its budget back, but yeah, it wasn't too successful at that. But yeah, Primitive War definitely has better legs, in my opinion. And if this film succeeds, then we might even see more dinosaur content outside of, you know, the Asylum movies and whatnot. But yeah, Primitive War, definitely something exciting and definitely something worth checking out. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we'll get more information about that. Yeah. Alright, since we're talking about movies, we might as well talk about Toho attending as well. So, I guess we all heard about that bombshell recently, right? Just before Comic-Con, there was a report talking about how Toho seems to be prepping a couple of things. We'll go this like one by one, step by step. So first off, -2. I almost said -1. Old habits die hard. So yeah, -2. We might be getting some information regarding that film, but yeah, it's been speculated that the film might release as early as 2026, which I don't know about that one. With the success of -1 and the limitations that film has, Toho would give more leeway to the creatives. But if they're really trying to push out a sequel as fast as they are, then that might that might be not exactly the strategy to go, because, you know, it's like I see this as one of two ways. You can either get a quality film, but you'd have to wait a little bit longer for it to actually, you know, reach that quality, or you could get a rush film, which, yes, you get the film earlier, but you're not getting the quality. So yeah, that's kind of the thing I'm worried about, and I really do hope that these reports on -2 releasing as early as next year are false, or at least if it is going to release in 2026, have it be like Q4, Q3. Anything earlier than that, then is like you're just asking for trouble with that. But yeah, it's like I think they're still filming Godzilla -2 as we speak, or maybe they just finished filming. So yeah, it's just 1 year period to try and get all the CGI shots done, getting all the editing done. It just sounds like a nightmare to me. So honestly, I really do hope that -2 gets the amount of time that it needs to be a proper successor to -1, because -1 already sets up the bar really high in terms of what a Godzilla movie could be, and definitely makes -2's development a little bit harder, because, you know, the pressure is on. You know, you need to either be equal to or surpass that previous film. So yeah, if anything, I think having more time on the film, giving it more time to cook, is preferable for the film. And I do find it really confusing how a lot of people are like, you know, when people have the same concerns as I do, are kind of being attacked for it, which is kind of confusing. It's like, I thought we're all on the same page here. I thought we all want to get a better Godzilla movie, but you're all just talking about how you want it in 2026. But yeah, I have faith in Takashi Yamazaki's team, but I'd be a lot more comfortable if we knew the film was coming out like in 2028, to avoid, like, you know, Godzilla x Kong Supernova, and you know, just having 2028 all to itself, giving 2026 more time to develop this film. But yeah, that's pretty much where I stand. Now, outside of Godzilla -2, somehow Shin Godzilla returned. There's a lot of coincidences with this one. For one, we have the re-release of Shin Godzilla coming out in August, and then we have Shinji Higuchi, one of the co-directors of Shin Godzilla, attending Comic-Con to hail a panel. And then you have this report of a Shin Godzilla 2 potentially being in development. Guys, I think we're getting Shin Godzilla 2. There is a bit of history when it comes to Shin Godzilla 2. I think shortly after Shin Godzilla released, Hideaki Anno made a treatment for a Shin Godzilla 2 simply called Shin Godzilla Strikes Back, or Shin Godzilla Raids Again, in reference to Godzilla Raids Again. And apparently the script contains a lot of elements from earlier Godzilla movies, specifically the Showa era, mainly to appease the fans that didn't really like Shin Godzilla for being what it is, which okay, even though Shin Godzilla is like easily one of the best Godzilla films that we've gotten in this modern era, but so be it. So yeah, Hideaki Anno finished the treatment, gave it to Shinji Iguchi as a gift, but Toho decided not to go forward with it. And now, almost 10 years since Shin Godzilla's initial release, it seems that we might be getting a Shin Godzilla 2. Now, right off the bat, the only information that we have is this article right here, which I'll leave down in the description below. But yeah, I think it's a little too early to really say anything. I think, if anything, if there is something worth saying, it will probably said at that panel in Comic-Con. But yeah, I guess we'll see. And also, there is like a tease of other projects being made. Like apparently, there is going to be an Asian project regarding Godzilla. And by Asia, I mean like outside of Japan, but don't know what that might entail, but I guess we'll wait and see. I mean, there was that like pretty neat teaser trailer that they made. Alright, let's talk about figures, starting off with SH Monsters Tamashii Nations. Now, I think for certain we're definitely going to be seeing a lot of the figures that they've announced recently being showcased, so that being the Showa King Ghidorah. There's also the release of the Atomic Breath Godzilla -1 Minus Plane Edition. And beyond that, maybe the Godzilla 2000, which is set to release in September, but I'm not really too sure if they would showcase that prototype. But let's get past that and talk about the thing that a lot of people will probably want to know. Will there be a new figure revealed this year? It's a 50-50 chance, because for one, they could easily showcase something brand new, something that is highly anticipated amongst American audiences, or they'll just play it safe and just reveal the figures that they've already revealed, teased for the past couple of months. Right off the bat, I guess one question that people will probably ask is, will anything from the survey that came out last year be showcased this year? I'm not too certain about that, mainly because the Figure Mania Gens made it abundantly clear that it takes Tamashii Nations at least, I think, 2 years to conceptualize a new figure, and given the fact that that survey released last year, I don't think we should expect anything new. Though granted, in me saying that, I did say the same thing about something similar last year, and we got Godzilla 2000. You know, that thing I've been anticipating for 13 years. Yeah, who knows? Maybe this year we'll see something new. Now, with that in mind, if they are going to be taking the suggestions from that survey to heart, then we could be expecting one of two figures, potentially. That being a pair of Mutos or Godzilla 1998, simply because there's a huge fan base for those monsters here in North America, but whether or not they'll actually go forward with that is yet to be seen, simply because I think it's being made abundantly clear that Tamashii Nations heavily focuses on what the Japanese audience wants, which is the reason why we got like Shin Godzilla orthochromatic version, but we yet to see a Godzilla 98, Mutos, other Monster vs. Monsters, so on and so forth. So yeah, but beyond that, it just might be another year where they just reveal nothing, which yeah, honestly, wouldn't be too surprised. Alright, Haya, my sweet summer child. So, it has been confirmed that Haya will be attending Comic-Con this year. What they'd be revealing? We don't know. They made a post saying that they will be showcasing new items, and they'll also be showcasing new IPs that they acquired. So, yeah, in terms of what we might be able to see, well, I did make that video talking about the Monster Hunter figures, so we might see our first Exquisite Basic Monster Hunter figure this year. What will it be? I don't know. Now, moving away from that, Godzilla. Last year was a really big year for Haya, simply because you had Tamashii Nations revealing the Mothra Tsuko set, and then Haya just came out of nowhere. It's like, hey, check this out! And and it got everyone in a roar. Now, granted, a lot of the figures that they revealed last year still haven't released. One of those being Godzilla 2000, again, most anticipated figure of like ever. And I've seen some people speculate that they'll probably not reveal anything new. The Figure Mania gents said something similar, simply being that they're so behind on orders that revealing anything new might be more detrimental to them rather than building up hype for these potential new products. But we'll see. We'll see. It's like, in terms of where I'm standing, I'm also kind of getting a little annoyed by Haya's constant release date shenanigans. Like, ironically enough, I think the Haya Godzilla 2000 was supposed to release in like August, I believe, but then they pushed the release date up to like Q2 of 2025, and now we're in like Q3 of 2025, and it seems like that figure will be releasing sometime in September or October, which is kind of coincidental because the SH Monsters Godzilla 2000 is also releasing in September, so it'd be really cool to get both of those figures within the same month. But yeah, we'll see. And yeah, in terms of what we could potentially be seeing, so yeah, we're definitely going to be seeing a lot of the figures that they've announced already. Their Heat Ray Godzilla, plethora of Heat Ray Godzillas of the 2000, the 2001. You also have that. You also have that Battle Damage King Ghidorah, Mecha King Ghidorah that were revealed recently. Maybe we'll see the Exquisite Basic Plus Godzilla 2019 again. No, sorry, 2021. Yeah. But yeah, that's in terms of figures coming back. Would they be revealing anything new, though? So I think we're like right off the bat, one of the most requested figures in the past 2 years has to be the male Muto. So we already have the female Muto. We already have Godzilla 2014, an Atomic Breath version of Godzilla 2014. That hasn't released yet. The only monster left from that movie is the Hulk Muto, or the male Muto, or the flying Muto. So yeah, it would make sense if Haya just announced that figure and just get the full line of Godzilla 2014 done, and then they could move on to other titles like anything from the Reiwa, Millennium, Showa, Heisei era. Now, moving on to the Millennium era, we already have like a good number of Godzilla figures that they announced. We have Godzilla 2001, Godzilla 2000, and Godzilla 2002. That is three out of 4 to 5 designs from the Millennium era. So we have like these versions of Godzilla. Let's get on to making some monsters. So 2 of these designs of Godzilla definitely have monsters attached to them that have been highly requested and speculated for many a year. And it seems like Haya might beat Tamashii Nations on this one, but we could be seeing 2 out of 5 potential monsters. Those simply being Megaguirus, Orga, and the GMK versions of Ghidorah, Mothra, and Baragon. 2 out of those 5, I think, is likely. But then again, they might like go down the beaten path already and just reveal Kiryu to go along with the Godzilla 2002. But having the Godzilla 2002, they could also make a Godzilla 2003 version. And there has been speculation that we'll see a Haya Exquisite Basics Godzilla 2004, but we'll see about that. Now, moving on from the Millennium era and Godzilla 2014, let's talk about the Monsterverse again, real quick. So yeah, Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire is practically almost complete when it comes to the roster of monsters, and even going as far as covering side monsters that only been there for 3 minutes or something like that. It should be noted that there's a certain orange monkey missing, that simply being Scar King. So yeah, I think now is probably the best time to reveal an Exquisite Basic Scar King. Whether or not Haya will make it, I don't know, that's kind of like in the air. Like Scar King is definitely like that, one of the more highly anticipated monsters from that movie, but also seems to be the one that got the least amount of news in terms of a release from Haya. And I do worry a little bit that Scar King might be sent to like Purgatory with Mechagodzilla 2001, another figure that I really hope that Haya will make. Please, Haya, don't make me buy that SH Monsters version. So yeah, we might potentially see Scar King. But outside of Scar King, there's also another monster that could potentially be revealed. That simply being Tiamat. And given the fact that we've seen like Silo, who had like less screen time than Tiamat. I definitely think a high Tiamat is in the cards. If not this year, then potentially next year. Or maybe she'll just be one of those like offhand monsters that that just kind of gets released out of the blue, kind of like Scylla in a way. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right. Now we go on to some of the eras that that Haya hasn't really covered. So in terms of all the eras, Haya managed to do Monsterverse, which is pretty evident. The Heisei era with their Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah figures, and the Millennium era, which seems to be the era that's kind of their bread and butter. So I suspect that this year we might finally see our first Showa era figure from Haya. Now, what movie would they do? I honestly don't know. They're like really spoiled for choice, and I think whatever they go with, the fans are going to go crazy, simply because the Showa era has the least amount of representation when it comes to Godzilla collectibles. But yeah, I guess we'll talk about that. Actually, no, I already talked about that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty sure whatever choice they end up making, people will definitely clamor for it. But yeah, it's like anything like Godzilla 1954, King Kong vs. Godzilla, Destroy All Monsters. Yeah. And let's talk about the Reiwa era, which I think is pretty self-explanatory as to which figure might be the first Reiwa era figure that Haya makes. It's a simple toss-up between Shin Godzilla, which, given all the hype surrounding Shin Godzilla, more likely than not, or Godzilla -1. Given all the hype around it, more likely than not. This year we might finally see our first like Showa and Reiwa era Haya figures. And yeah, from there they'll they'll do whatever. But yeah, who knows, maybe they'll be like Tamashii Nations, play it cool and just reveal all the things that they already have announced in the past couple of months. Because yeah, they've recently been doing nothing but reveal like repaints and nothing really new to say. But yeah, maybe they're just saying that for Comic-Con, but I guess we'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much my predictions and the things that I'm looking forward to at San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah, so not really. So yeah, I'm sorry this video like took a very long time. I've been really busy with other videos, and yeah, I'm just trying to get things up and running. But yeah, yeah, just like, I hope you guys are excited for Comic-Con as much as I am. If you're someone who's mainly into Marvel and DC, I'm sorry. I guess this is not your year, but I guess us Godzilla fans are eating real good in terms of news coming out. But yeah, what about you? Is there anything in Comic-Con that you're really looking forward to? Is there something here that I forgot to mention? Like I didn't mention NECA, mainly because there isn't really much to be noteworthy. I mean, like, we might see something from Alien Earth, but I guess we'll see. But yeah, whatever you might be looking forward to, whether it's something that I listed or something that I haven't, please feel free to leave it down in the comments down below. But yeah, that's all. Working on a bunch of other videos. There's definitely some stuff that I want to get out before like October, and oh yeah, Lone Colony. Check out the Lone Colony. Just posted a new video there. But yeah, that is everything, and I'll see you all in a later video. Till next time, everybody.